And hey, better to have and not need than need not have. Welcome back to Bad Attitude C10. Yep, it's been a minute, and guys, I know excuses are excuses, but hey, we had rain the week before last, and it was pretty bad weather. And then earlier this week, all of a sudden started getting a pain from my ear and coming down into my jaw, and I mean, it even hurt to chew and to talk, and we all know I love to talk. So yeah, it turned out I had an inner ear infection that I've been battling, and now I'm a little bit better. Well, so in the last video that we did, I did mention that I'd get more in depth with the brushless fan that we picked up from Steel Racing Products. And I'll put a link to their website in the description below. And I wanted to cover some of the basics of the brushless fan and what the benefits of them are, and show you some of the perks to having them. So I'm going to go right back real quick and show you some excerpts from the video where I mentioned the original fans that we had and the fan that we're going to be using. So stay tuned. Now guys, the original fans that we had were just a standard brush style fan that required two wires. One would be a hot and one would be a ground. And these guys were 16 inch, and we had bought them and they were already on a shroud. And they would work and they would move a pretty good amount of air, and the specifications are right here and could be seen. Now the reason we chose to speak with Steel was, you know, a lot of amps and stuff that are being used on the truck, and these brushless fans are tunable and everything for our applications. So in addition to the 3 wires instead of 2. Alright guys, sometimes I get ahead of myself and forget there are some people that have no clue how these actually work. Now when I mentioned there's 3 wires instead of 2, I should have elaborated a little bit more. And what the 3rd wire allows us to do is we use it to pulse width modulate the signal to the fan to where we can actually tell it how fast we want it to run. And we can do this based on mile per hour, throttle position, temperature, and there's a lot of variables that can be done. But in addition to how fast the fan runs, it's also going to be beneficial for how much the amp draw is and the tolls that the amps make on our, I guess you could say, a whole overall electrical system. Alright, so let's get back to this. Steel offers a lot of benefits, and the first thing that they need to actually be mentioned about Steel products is the soft start technology. This allows the fans to ramp up when they're being turned on with pulse width modulation, or if it's even a direct hookup, it would do the same instead of having an initial spike. So guys, I forgot to mention that when it comes to the soft start technology, all of the Steel motors have this actually built in them from the factory. It's a standalone feature that comes with their motors, period. Another thing that I failed to mention that was on the page before is you can actually purchase a motor and send in your fan, and Steel will fit their motor in your existing fan housing. So we'll be utilizing pulse width modulation with our setup, and the brushless fans will basically have a duty cycle that relates to fan speed. So 15% duty cycle would be 25% fan speed, and 95% duty cycle would be 100% of the fan speed. So on this next chart, you'll see the actual current draw with the spike of a conventional fan versus the Steel. And you'll also notice that the difference in the actual amp draw at full speed is more consistent with the brushless fan. So what I'm choosing to do is I'm going to run this little module right here on the Bad Attitude C10, and I do sell these. Shameless plug, and I'll show you a link right here or a page to it. And what this guy is we have a 150 amp mega fuse, and then we have 230s and 240 mini fuses down here. And this fuse block we're actually going to use to power up both my electric fans and both the electric water pumps. So basically what we're going to have is, if you notice, there's a bus bar that connects them. So on this side right here, we'll have either a 1 or a 2 watt cable, depending on once we do the math on the amperage. That's going to be our basically our input. So then we're going to have 150 amp fuse protection there, and then it breaks down through the bus bar, and then it'll split up to 30 and 40s. Now the 30 and 40 amp fuses are basically considered a medium slow blow fuse. So even though they're rated at 30 or 40, they can handle 40, 50, up to 60 volts for seconds. It could be 10, 15, depending on which style you get. So the reason we opted to go with this style setup was my original fans were standard fans, and we'll get into this a little more in depth in a minute too. And your original amperage when you turn them on will spike. So you need a fuse that's not a fast flow, because then you get into popping fuses and going, oh, well, let's keep going bigger and bigger and bigger. And by the time you get to one that's so big that it doesn't pop when you turn the fans on, you then, if you don't have the wire that's going to be protected up to that amount of amperage and stuff, you're going to start burning shit up. So anyway, another cool thing about Stihl is they put in the work. They give you real world results. They don't give you theories or, experimental guesstimates or hypotheses. They put in the work and provide you with an outcome. Here, look at how smooth the curve is compared to a standard fan. So basically, to elaborate, the Stihl Pro Brushless fan delivers more airflow per amp. And at the same token, it's reducing the electrical load while increasing our cooling output. So not only is the fan smarter, but it's more efficient. Okay guys, and when it comes to Stihl, they do like running a relay on the main power wire, and I like that too myself, because then you can actually utilize a smaller gauge wire from your switch panel down to the relay to turn your fan on and off. So that means whenever it comes to choosing your relay, you need to be sure you choose something that can handle the amperage that you're using. So this is just a regular, like, Bosch style relay, and you can get them that way, or you can get them that had the little, brackets to mount them. Now in our case, since originally when I set this up, we had two regular 16-inch fans, and they could spike somewhere between 50 and 60 amps at original startup, and there's two. I didn't want to use like a 30 amp, relay and have a chance of popping it, or, welding the contact together or anything like that. So we'll be using, which I'll see if I can show this to you. It is like the big brother. So instead of just a 30-40 amp relay, it is actually a Bosch 50 amp relay, and you can actually even look at the lugs and see how much larger they are compared to your standard Bosch relay. I mean, it's like night and day difference. But this relay will actually handle a lot more amperage, and it'll give us the capability of running a larger gauge wire from a power supply, which will be our fuse block, over to our inlet, and then our outlet would just be from there to the fan itself. So instead of running 16 or 18 foot of 10 or 12 gauge wire to suffice for the amount of amperage draw that your fan's doing, we can actually run a long piece of wire from our switch panel to the relay that could be 16, 18, even 20 gauge. It depends on which relay you have and how much it takes to hold it open or make it latch, either way. So basically, instead of running tons of wiring everywhere, a relay is still good, reassurance, I guess you could say, or a safety mech. Another thing is, if you do have a brushless fan, that if it fail safes to running full speed, if it loses pulse width modulation signal, think about it. If you go directly to your battery instead of having a relay, and your controller goes out, or your pulse width modulation takes a dump, and it just runs full bore, how are you going to shut it off if it's directly bolted to the lug on the battery with a hot? I mean, there's nothing interrupting that signal. Well, with a relay, we can still shut it off. Another perk that a lot of people aren't thinking about is, I have two of the 16-inch brushless fans. If we did a drag and drop or something like that, and it were to take, one of them broke or took a dump, whichever way you want to say it, I could put a conventional fan back on in the way that we're going to be wiring it, and still utilize the same hot coming from this relay and a ground, and then instead of having a pulse width modulation wire going to it to turn it on and off, when we turn the switch on to turn the fans on and arm them, it'll automatically latch this relay and that other fan will come on. So if we needed to get away with a standard brush style fan in a pinch, hey, it's wired that way, it's ready for it, it can handle the amperage that be demanded by that fan, and hey, better to have and not need than need not have. So, and this is another little diagram that's offered by Stihl that I found quite interesting. And if you notice, it shows the maximum airflow and the average airflow produced, and the test was only held for like 35 seconds. But just look at the way that the brushless fan continued to pull and maintain its CFM, and the standard OEM fan, kind of the more load that it was put under and the longer it ran full speed, the CFM continually started dropping off. So the brushless fan that is offered by Stihl not only gets up and maintains its CFM at a steadier rate, it holds it there even when it's being demanded to run at full percent. of its duty cycle. So I hope that gives y'all a little bit of an understanding, and I'm going to go ahead and put this next little bit of information up about the 2 fans that will be running from Steel Racing Products. So guys, all of the information you'd need as far as how much CFM, the voltage, and the actual duty cycle hours and stuff like that is all here. And under technical specifications, as you can see, the frequency for the pulse width modulation range is also available there. Now, if you have any other questions, visit Steel Racing Products. So guys, I guess it all just breaks down to my opinion. And for me, in my personal opinion, I feel that going with the brushless fan and pulse width modulation, not only does it give me a variable, speed control and fan control as far as the output and CFM, but instead of just having an on or off or a high speed and a low speed fan, I can control my fan rate and my amp draw 100%. And to me, that's 100% beneficial, and it's going to be more efficient. Alright guys, thanks for watching the video, and I hope you have a little bit of a better understanding of how the brushless fans work and the pulse width modulation benefits and stuff like that. In the next video, we'll get more in depth with the components that we're using to wire it, and we'll go ahead and wire in, the relays that we'll be using, and I can show y'all whenever we set everything up for the fuse block and go from there. And until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you then.